Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Love and Peace bracelet. This is a one loom design. It is reversible. You will need to add an extension on the end if you do only use the one loom. I will link a video in the description box below showing you how to create an extension if you don't know how. So for today's video, you will need 71 bands plus whatever extension bands you're using. So the breakdown is 25 of the metallic baby blue, 25 of the purple glitter, 10 of the teal, 11 of the white, and your extension bands, which I used approximately 12, I believe. So you'll need one C-clip and your hook, and I will explain the loom setup. To get started, you're going to have one rainbow loom set up in a staggered position. Remember, if you don't want to use an extension, all you need to do is connect another loom in front of this one, and then you can just make a full length one. So what we're going to do is start by alternating two colors. The first color is this metallic baby blue, and then the second one we lay will be where the purple is. So with the blue, we're going to start by laying one in the middle, like that, for closing it later. And then we're going to go to the left and to the right. Now grab your second color, and we're going to be laying an upside down V. So from this same corner pin, go diagonal to the middle and repeat on the right. We'll go back to our first color and lay the diagonals, which will make a V. And then our purple will go the opposite direction. So all my blues will be making a V, all of my purples will be making an upside down V. And we're just going to be alternating those two colors all the way down the loom. If you're going to use two full looms to get a full length bracelet, you're going to do all of the same things that I am doing. Now, the only difference is how far down the two looms you go. Depending on the bands you use, it will be different. But I pretty much went down to the 20th pin. If you're counting from the sides, I went down 20 pins for two loom lengths. But again, that can differ slightly depending on the type of bands you use. For this version here, we're going to go down to the second to last pin if you're counting from the sides, and then it will be the last pin in the center. But for either version, you should be ending with an upside down V. So my purples is where it should be ending at the end of the loom. So as you guys can see, I'm sure you can notice a little bit. For the most part, I sound the same, but you can definitely tell I have just a little bit of, I guess it's called a lisp, but some words that I try to say are a little bit hard for me. So hopefully the more I talk, the better I'll get at it. But my surgery went really good, really smooth. I am still a little bit sore. But yeah, I've just been trying to practice speaking so that I can get better at it. I did pretty good when I did the extension video. At least I felt like I did. Today, I felt like I was struggling a little bit. So as you can see, we're getting closer down to the end of the loom. I have a couple more to lay. Okay, so I'm at the end of my loom, and you want to make sure that you end it with an upside down V. So for me, it's my purples. You don't want to lay another set here because that's where we're going to start looping from. So go through and push them down, and I'll show you the next layer we're going to lay. So I did switch my camera angle. Hopefully it's okay. I just want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. For this next step, we're going to alternate between the two colors that make the circle. So the teal and the white. The first one we'll lay is the teal, so it will be the bottom layer. And the goal is we're going to be eventually making a square around 4 pins. But I'm going to show you a different way to lay them. We're going to lay them first and come back later and stretch them with our hook to keep things from twisting. So lay that teal going straight, and then whatever color you want to use for the second color, which again is the white one that sits right there. you're going to, where the teal ends, you're going to lay the white and lay it diagonal like so. You'll go back to your teal, lay that straight, and then a diagonal white. Go back to teal, and then diagonal white. And we are going to keep doing this down the loom. And then once they're all laid, I'll show you how to stretch it with my hook. All of our teal bands will eventually be a square. All of my white bands are going to be a diamond. We're going to stretch it around 4 pins. But I found that if we go down the loom, laying it the way they're supposed to be, number 1, it takes forever. Number 2, it twists the bands, which I really don't like. And it's kind of boring. So I like doing it this way. Just makes it a little funner. So when you get to the end of the loom, do not lay a white diagonal on the last pin. So we're going to come back to the beginning, and you're going to need to grab your hook. And we're going to start on the first teal band that we have here. We are going to be pulling it from right here, so the inside of the band, and we're going to stretch it to these 2 pins. So pull it to the right and connect it like that so it makes a square. Now we're going to grab the diagonal white, and we're going to stretch it to these 2 pins so that it makes a diamond. So make sure you're only grabbing this part of the white band, pull it to the middle that's underneath of it, and then also to the right. So it makes that diamond. We'll go back to the teal. So whatever next teal band that you have on the side here that's going straight, grab it, pull it to the right, and connect it to both of these 2 pins. Come up to your next diagonal white, grab a hold of it, and we're going to pull it to the middle and to the right. See how it's wrapping around making a diamond? And we're going to keep alternating between grabbing our teal and stretching it to the side pins, making a square, and then grabbing the white band and making a diamond. So just take your time here and just keep alternating colors and the steps. And hopefully you guys don't find this challenging. I found it a little harder to show just laying them like this instead of doing it with the hook. Even if you have to say in your head, like as I'm grabbing the teal, say square. And then when you grab your white, you say diamond, and just keep doing that down the loom. The last thing that you will be pulling over will be your teal square. And that is what it will look like. So I'm going to show you from the side. So once you're all caught up, go ahead and push those down a little bit, and then we will turn the loom around. We are going to grab a purple cat band, or whatever color you're using down here. We will wrap it around 2 times. And now we are ready to start the looping. So to start looping, we're going to be going into the cat band and looping the purples. So push the cat band back, grab the top purple that's in there, and it just is going back to itself. So the top one goes to the left, and the bottom one will go to the right. The purples will always just get looped back to themselves like that. Now we're going to loop the blues. It's the bands that are going downwards like this. And we're going to be looping them up to these pins, so they will not be going back to themselves. So for the left one here, you're going to push everything that's on top. There's 3 bands out of the way. Grab the very bottom band. It's my baby blue, and you're going to loop it to the pin above. Do the same on the right side. Grab the very bottom band, loop it to the pin above. Now we're going to go into this center pin right here, and we're going to loop the purples again. So there are 3 bands that you have to move. So it's the white and 2 blues. And now I can reach my diagonal purples. I'm going to grab the top purple, which is going to the left. And then I'll go back in and grab the bottom one and bring it to the right. So now we have another step that we have to add in. Each time we are done looping the purple out, we have to flip over the diamond band, which is my white one. You can see it sitting right here. If you look to the side, it's the 4th band down. So we're going to flip it on right where the pins are. So I grab it right here, and then I pull it towards myself over the pin. Once I clear the pin, I let it go. Come over to the right and do the same thing. I grab it right here, and then I pull it around the pin until it gets in front of it and let it go. If this band gets twisted here, I do try to like work it with my hook to fix it. So we're going to do that again. So we now need to loop the blue. So it doesn't really matter which side you start on, but we're going to move the top layers out of the way. It's the very bottom band that we're grabbing. So that baby blue, it's the last pin, or excuse me, last band on the pin. Loop it up to the pin above it, and do the same on the left side. So now we're going to come to the center and loop the purples. So just make sure you are getting in front of all of these bands so that you can reach that diagonal purple that's on that pin. So grab my top one, my top diagonal left band, bring it to the left because it's going back to itself. Go back in, grab the bottom band, which is now the diagonal purple, and loop that to itself. Remember, every time we are done looping the purple, we have to flip the diamond band, and I used white for my diamond band. So I'm going to go right here and grab part of that diamond band, and I'm going to pull it over the pin and release. Repeat on the right side. You want to make sure you're clearing that pin, so you can see how I bring my hook around it until it gets in front, and then I let it go. So we're going to start that all over again. So we'll start with our blue. So we're going to go into the side pins. You're just pushing everything back because it's the very bottom band. And that's going to get looped to the pin above it. We're going to do that on both sides. And now we're going to loop the purple. So push back all of the bands. I keep saying pins. The bands on the middle pin. Grab your band that is facing diagonally left. Loop your purple out and loop the right. Now we will flip our white diamond band over the sides. We're going to keep alternating these steps up the loom. So I just flipped my white. We need to now start with the baby blue. So we grab the side bottom bands and loop them forward. We'll come to the middle and loop the purple. And then we will flip over our diamond band. I'm not liking the angle of my camera right now. I kind of feel like it's a really odd angle. And that's the end of that section, so we'll start it again. So it's 3 steps. We loop the baby blue up. We loop the purple back to itself. And we flip the white over the side pins. I haven't started Christmas shopping yet, and I'm feeling pretty stressed out. There just was a lot going on recently. I've told you guys before, I've always been a last minute type of person with like shopping and stuff. And I always say that I'm going to start earlier, and I never do. This year I definitely couldn't have because there was just too much going on. But I feel like, oh, it's starting to get close, and I haven't even considered starting. So I really need to get things going. I need to start. We're getting very close to the end. There is no diamond band to flip over when you reach the very top of your loom. The last thing you're going to do after you loop your purples out is go into the side corner pins and loop the baby blue to the middle. It's the very bottom band. You're just looping it to the middle so that our bracelet does not fall apart. We're going to grab a hold of that loose band that we had there from the beginning. Reach inside the top pin and bring both ends together. If you are not making an extension, you can attach your C-clip. If you are making an extension, just slide it down your hook. Or you can temporarily C-clip it, and then we can go ahead and take it off of the loom. So before you leave and go make an extension, I want to show you that most likely you're going to need to fix this bracelet, especially depending on the type of bands you use. You're going to want to give it a stretch, but something that you're really going to have to do is fix your circle bands. So these white circle bands usually get very wonky and out of place. If you flip your bracelet upside down and roll your fingers towards yourself over top of the circles, it usually fixes them. Sometimes they get very tucked in there and they don't make a complete circle. You can also go one by one, pulling it out on one side, like that. You can do it with the teal bands too, and then stretch it up and down, and it usually centers them. Sometimes you may have to go in and tweak it just a little bit, but that usually does the trick. If you do use limited edition or any specialty bands, you will absolutely have to fix the white band. So they're just tucked in a little too much. That's all that it is. So that is it. If you are looking for the extension, there will be an eye up here that you can click on, or you can find it in the description box below. But that is it. That is how you create my Love and Peace bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And I do thank you so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon at my next video. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.